transition game. Rebounding is probably the #1 concern because they're such a great offensive rebounding team.
So Carol Ross trying to get her Lady Gators up for a big upset today. You would have to think it would be. They've only beaten Tennessee once in history in 28 attempts. Now let's talk about the keys to today's game, Elijah. What does Tennessee have to do to win?
What Tennessee is going to have to do is shut down Bell and McCain. They are a dynamic duo for the Lady Gators and very effective. They're also going to have to stop their transition game and prevent them from getting easy baskets. For Florida, their key is to push the ball up the court. Throw the ball down and challenge Tennessee in the full court. Also, their bench play is going to have to be very productive today, particularly Vanessa Hayden.
Yeah, and you look at Tennessee, Lady Vols will go perhaps 12 players deep. Florida maybe 7, perhaps 8. That's about it.
That's about it. But again, their starters are very effective for them, Bob. And again, as I said, Vanessa Hayden has also proven to be very effective. So we'll see how everything pans out this afternoon.
And one player for the Gators, Timmy Bell, she plays 40 minutes. She's done it the last 3 games, so maybe that's one situation. Tennessee will try and keep a lot of pressure on her and try and wear her down a little bit. But, of course, the other big gun for them is Brandy McCain, and the Lady Gators expect a lot of gunning from her today.
Brandy McCain is deadly from outside. A great deal of her shots come from three-point land, and again, as I said, very effective, and she will look to take that shot, particularly from the left-hand side of the basket.
They're expecting this record crowd today here at the O'Connell Center. Their previous high, 5,031 for Tennessee a couple of years ago. They're going to surpass that, perhaps double it or better today in this 12,000-seat facility that's rocking right now, gunning for this upset. It's been a frustrating series for the Gators against the Lady Vols, as Tennessee has beat them 27 of the 28 times they have met. And so sometimes it gets to be kind of a mental thing for them as they try and bounce back and knock off the Lady Vols today. Let's take a look at the lineups for today's game. First of all, for the Lady Vols, Gwen Jackson, the SEC Player of the Week at 1 forward. Then they'll start the 3 guards. Samika Randall, Carol Lawson, the point guard, the outside gunner, and ace Kristen Clement. Michelle Snow, who has 2 dunks to her credit, will be starting in the middle. She's averaging 10 points a game. And the head coach for the Tennessee Lady Vols, the Hall of Famer Pat Summitt, in this her 27th year for the Lady Vols, 752 wins and 6 national championships. Ladies and gentlemen, here's how the Lady Gators will line up today, as Florida comes in 20-2 overall. Monique Cardenas will be at 1 forward, and then Naomi Mobley, who's averaging 12 points a game and 9 rebounds. Toombi Bell is a gunner outside, and also Brandy McCain and Tamara Stocks in there. For Carol Ross, her 11th year as the Florida head coach, her school has never won an SEC championship. They've got a chance to tie for first place today with a victory. Ross in her 11th season at Florida. Set to go as Snow will jump center with Naomi Mobley. Glad you're with us. This should be a good one as you see Tennessee's dominance in this series. The only time the Gators have won here in '97. By the way, that was the year the Lady Vols won a national championship, so that was a good win for them. Now that's a bad tap. We'll try it again. The officials today are John Morningstar, Wesley Dean, and Daryl Humphreys. That's Wesley Dean, excuse me, and Morningstar will toss it up. So this is tip number 2 to start things. And it's banged back and controlled by Carol Lawson. Let's see how Florida jumps at him defensively. Man-to-man to start. Backdoor look. Michelle Snow underneath and lays it in.
Bob, that's a great way for the Lady Vols to start off with Michelle Snow up and in the lane. Florida
right back at him. That's McCain with the ball outside. 73 three-pointers for the season. Double teamed, whistle, and a 5-second call. So Tennessee's defense stuffs on Brandy McCain right there.
And Pat Summitt's calling card is a strong defensive effort from her team, and that, as I said, a good start for the Lady Vols.
It's a pretty good-sized Tennessee team, and McCain only 5'3", had trouble finding somebody open. Gwen Jackson, top of the key, and that's Lawson with the ball. There's a whistle and a bumping foul, and a legal pick is called. And the foul is going to be called on Tennessee's Samika Randall, an illegal pick coming through. First foul on Randall. So Florida gets the ball to McCain. She'll touch it about every possession, won't she?
She will. it's important for them to put the ball in their hands.
That time she misses, but right there to get the rebound is Cardenas, and she gets fouled on the play.
Big basket by Cardenas.
Got inside, the junior out of Keystone Heights, Florida. The ball was so off the mark, Tennessee trying to box out, and Cardenas stuck in right between them.
Perfect place at the right time.
So Cardenas, the 69% free throw shooter, ties the game and can give the Lady Gators the lead. And she does. Florida, pretty good free throw shooting team at 70%. And the Gators have the first lead of the day, 3-2. We're 1 minute in here in Gainesville. Snow working inside. Jump shots off the mark, and Cardenas rebound. So she's got 2 boards for Florida. Bell pushes it up for the Gators. Can't get it to roll, and Gwen Jackson rips it off for Tennessee. This might be an up-and-down game today.
Up and down in transition. As you see, Toomey Bell didn't make that basket, but a good push on her behalf.
There's Snow inside, gets the body and gets the bucket as Mobley fouled her. And that's one thing Florida can't have happen. Get in foul trouble early.
Can't afford to get in foul trouble here. Kristen Clement throws it in to Michelle Snow. Basket and one with the contact from Mobley. Again, Michelle Snow just dumps the ball in and is able to convert that basket in the lane.
That's one thing Snow has done much better, as you see right away. Vanessa Hayden comes in, and out goes Mobley with that quick foul. Not a bad move by Carol Ross. Didn't want Mobley to pick up back-to-back fouls just like that. Here's Snow at the line. Missed the free throw, and the rebound goes to Hayden. Hayden, an impressive freshman out of Orlando. Cardenas open. And Snow yanks it off and gives it out to Kristen Clement. Tennessee wants to run. Clement has really been a pleasant surprise since the injury to Tamika Catching. She's really filled a big gap. Underneath the Snow, they strip it away. And Hayden, good hands, knocks it free, and Florida gets the basketball.
On the alternating possession, Florida basketball.
So Florida gets it back with 18-17 to go in this first half.
But I think right now you just have a situation where both teams are filling each other out.
Here's McCain. She's got 73 three-pointers. She'll look to shoot. There's Cardenas underneath. The reverse layup.
Very nice assist, and Cardenas is able to put the basketball in.
Lawson in the front court. Snow got too far into the basket and gets fouled on the play as Hayden got her. If Snow catches it there, she'll score or get fouled every time.
Bob, she's very tough to handle in the lane. But on the other end of the court is Brandy McCain with the look away. You have Cardenas with the reverse layup off the glass.
Nicely done as Florida takes a 5-4 lead. Here's Snow back at the line.
Bob, the Lady Vols are really making a concerted effort to get Michelle Snow involved in the early going.
Snow fires and hits. That's one thing she's really worked on, her free throw shooting. Up to 60% now. That doesn't seem like much, but where she was earlier in the season, that's not bad. Snow will go again. Ties the game at 5. This for the lead as she shoots right for the students and hits. So Snow has 6 quick ones. And she's got all of Tennessee's points at 6-5. Back the other way, Hayden misses. There's Cardenas again on the offensive glass, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll still be Florida's ball.
Good job by Hayden of running the floor. She just was not able to convert that basket.
So, Snow and Cardenas, the only ones to dent the scoring column. And the Lady Gators bring it in with a fresh 30-second shot clock. Bell way out front. She's also a good outside shooter. She won't put it up as much as McCain does, but she's a good floor leader. Look at her, nice through the lane, but missed the shot, draws the foul. What a crossover.
Wow, that was very nice. Just a quick change of direction, and she draws the foul underneath.
Tennessee foul is on double zero, Michelle Snow. Her first.
Well, as Toomey Bell comes around the corner, she ducks in underneath Michelle Snow. Double pump, and draws the foul.
So now Bell goes to the line. Solid player, 71% free throw shooter. Had started 44 straight games for the Gators, and then she was injured on December the 22nd, so her start streak was snapped, and she missed the one game, but she still started this year 20 games. Mobley back in, and out will go Hayden. Bell at the line, gets the first one, and gives Florida the lead back.
Bell has given her team solid leadership throughout her career.
7-6, Lady Gators. Look at Snow trying to post up down low on Mobley underneath. Trying to pick up that foul. Gwen Jackson splits a double team, and they take it away from her. Here's Cardenas, and she's going to be fouled. Well, I tell you what, Cardenas has been very active all day long.
Cardenas has made a big impact on on the start of this game. And again, she's scrapping all over the floor. She reaches in. And there you see her drawing the change of possession, I guess, for the Lady Gators.
Ashley Robinson now comes in for Tennessee, and out will go Michelle Snow. No, Snow stays in, so Tennessee goes with the Twin Towers as Jackson is out of the game. Robinson is 6'5", Snow is 6'5" underneath. Florida leads by 1, 3 minutes in. Give and go underneath, the pass deflected. Stock stays with it, Snow ties her up, and now this arrow goes to Tennessee. So the first time they tried to get it inside, Samara Stocks underneath. Can't handle it. They were fronting her on the post that time.
Fronting her on the post, and as you spoke about the Twin Towers, Michelle Snow and Ashley Robinson, and now the ball is in the hands of Tennessee.
Kara Lawson, averaging 11 points a game, but she's been red hot from three-point range lately. Hitting 46% of her shots, and she'll come off that screen and fire most times. This time, she tries to penetrate. Good defense by the Gators.
Great defense.
Shot clock down to 5. Randall looking for room and banks it in. Nice play.
Somehow, some way, Tamika Randall puts the ball in for the Lady Vols.
Tennessee gets the lead back 8-7. Back and forth we go. Early lead changes. Cardenas on the baseline can't get in. Tennessee's done a nice job so far. McCain. Here's Bell baseline, and she gets bumped inadvertently and goes down hard. Let's see if she's all right. I'm not sure Snow even knew where she was. It kind of knocked her down.
I don't think so, but that was a great job of going to the basket by Tumby Bell. Here's Tamika Randall as the clock is running down. Cardenas gets her hands on it with the up and under and the bank off the glass.
That's a veteran move, too, because she knew the shot clock was rolling down. Bell gets her first free throw.
Number 13,
She's fourth all-time at Florida in assists. She has 400 assists in her career as Michelle Snow sits down. She's got her second personal foul, so she's in early trouble. And Bell misses the second one on the rebound. Goes to Gwen Jackson. So we're tied up at 8. First time we've been tied today. Here's Lawson penetrating. Looks like Lawson thinks she can take McCain underneath and post her up. Robinson, baseline move, too strong for Mobley underneath.
The height advantage coming into play for Ashley Robinson, and that's an easy basket for her underneath.
10-8, Tennessee leads. First basket for Robinson. There's a deflection by Randall. Tennessee with a basketball. Samika Randall gives to Robinson. Baseline jumper, good.
Again, Tamika Randall with the presence of mind to get the ball to Ashley Robinson, and she converts the jumper.
12-8 as Robinson has come in and hit back-to-back buckets. Tennessee on a 4-0 run. Florida not the best shooting team around, only 43%, but they hold their opposition to 35%. There's the up and under move. Stocks in.
Great high-low action from Mobley to Stocks, and she converts the basket.
12-10. Jackson top of the circle. It's been a high-energy game so far. Robinson back to Samika Randall inside the arc and hits.
Randall with a smooth jumper from the left wing, and that's another 2 points for Tamika Randall.
5 minutes in. Bell to Cardenas working against Lawson. Gets a pick from Stocks. What a pick, but she can't put it down. Stocks really picked off Lawson that time and gave her teammate an open look, but can't knock it down. Here's Robinson. Double team. Puts it in anyway.
Ashley Robinson is paying immediate dividends for the Lady Vols, and she's come in and gotten 6 quick points.
They ran Bell at her to try and double team her, but Robinson ran the other way. Spun and got an easy bucket. Randall's done a nice job so far on McCain. There's the inside give and go, but Stocks with the wrong way, and the ball sails out of bounds. So Florida turns it over, and Carol Ross's team, after being tied at 8, has been outscored 8-2 and trails by 6. Our first media timeout, first half.
University of Tennessee Sports.
Tennessee on an 8-2 run to open up a 6-point lead, and Elijah, it's been the defense.
It has been the defense led by Samika Randall, who is known to be a great defensive player. Here she is in the full court, gets control of the ball behind the back. She has her head up. She's trying to figure out what to do. Finds a swooping Ashley Robinson on the baseline for a nice smooth jumper.
And that was a nice move by Robinson as she pulled up and didn't draw the charge. You see there's a pocket of Tennessee orange here, right behind the Lady Vol bench. Outnumbered for sure, but they're trying to out-yell them. But so far, Lady Vols have been able to get the advantage against Florida, as now both teams send some subs in. April McDivitt into the game for Tennessee. As you see the turnovers, Florida has turned it over 4 times. On the season, Florida's averaging 15 turnovers, forcing 21 against the opposition. Here's McDivitt, another good outside shooter for Tennessee with a basketball. And McCain picks her up. Clement, nice driving layup, but can't get it to go with the left hand. Stocks gets the rebound.
Again, look at Clement trying to keep the ball out of Bell's hands, because once she gets the ball, she pushes the ball up in transition.
Look at her go to the basket.
As you see right there, you have to get the ball out of her hands, or she'll make you pay with the basket in the lane.
Back the other way, Randall on the move to McDivitt. Wide open. Boy, that's poison right there.
That's poison. Nothing but the bottom of the net for April McDivitt.
Can't leave her open. She's an excellent spot-up, stand-up shooter. 19-12. Tennessee with a 7-point lead. Now the biggest. McCain, her first three is good.
You have Brandi McCain, who is equally as talented from the three-point line.
That sets a record most three-pointers in a season. That's 74 for. 19-15. Robinson going again, draws the foul, and Hayden picks up her second.
Bob, it appears that the Lady Vols' game plan is to dump the ball inside and try to draw fouls on Florida's defense.
Done it so far, Mobley and Hayden. And again, here's the record-setting field goal.
Record-setting McCain. She just backs Tamika Randall up, gets her on her heels, and nails the three-pointer.
She sets the Florida record with 74. As Robinson misses the first one.
Substitution for Tennessee, number 3, Tasha Butts.
Tasha Butts into the game for the Lady Vols. She has been one of these emerging freshmen out of Milledgeville, Georgia. Mobley back in, and Hayden goes out. As Ashley Robinson. Everybody wanted her last year. Afraid McDonald's, everybody All-American. She's out of Grand Prairie, Texas. It's the free throw. She's got 7 quick ones. It's 20-15. Bell, Tennessee man-to-man. Now there's a whistle. And I think they're going to get McDivitt on a hand check. No, inside.
Tennessee foul is on number 43, Ashley
The
Robinson.
foul is going to be on Ashley Robinson. So pushing foul on Robinson. And that's the 4th foul on Tennessee. Check that, the 6th foul on Tennessee. 3 fouls on Florida. Martinez, right around Robinson.
She dribbled all the way around the perimeter, but nailed the basket when she had to with a nice, tough, hard-nosed drive in the lane.
Nobody got in front of her and made her stop. Randall, top of the key. Not a butt. She'll shoot from there. And hit. That's her favorite shot.
That's a good-looking stroke for Tasha Butts in a very comfortable area for her on the court.
23-17 as the Lady Vols now have drilled a couple of three-pointers to build up a 6-point advantage. Here's McCain. She hits a three.
Picking up comfort zone, the three-point line, and Brandi McCain, best friends.
She had 35 in a game this year against West Virginia. Off to a good start with 6. It's 23-19. Give and go. Robinson puts it in.
Great alley-oop from freshman to freshman. That's the connection from Butts to Ashley Robinson.
25-19. Bell again. Over McDivitt. No. And Butts rebound.
Bob, how about the pace of this game?
Up and down, up and down. The bench will be a key. Butts takes it in the lane, and she's going to be held in a hand check from behind.
Out of bounds.
Florida foul is on number 5, Tubi Bell.
The foul is going to be on Bell. That'll be her first. 4th foul on the Gators.
Number 20, Carol Lawson.
I'd say the pace right now, I know Florida wants to play this fast game, but I'm not sure they got the depth to keep it here.
I'm not sure they do, especially when you have players like Ashley Robinson coming off the bench from the Lady Vols, and as I said, having an immediate impact on the game.
Lawson catches and fires.
About 46% from the three-point line and nails that jumper.
28-19. Florida got to watch here, make sure this thing doesn't get away. Here's McCain against Lawson. Pull-up jump shot. No good. Robinson rebound. Lady Vols have been shooting at an incredible clip so far in this first half, taking good shots.
I think partly because they're getting the ball inside and getting, as you said, very good shots.
Option 1 is Robinson or Snow, and then Lawson goes baseline. Reverse layup, no, but there's Robinson again.
Again, Ashley Robinson all over the boards, everywhere on the court for the Lady Vols.
Robinson to Butts in the corner. Fans wanted an elbow, didn't get it. Lawson. Short this time. Stocks yanks it out of there. Florida down 9.
McCain can get it back in a hurry if she gets hot from the three-point line.
Stocks gets it down low. Goes right around.
Very nice.
The Tennessee interior defense.
Bob, she went around Ashley Robinson as though her foot was nailed to the floor. That's a very good job by Tamara Stocks.
See the rebounding edge for the Lady Vols. Outside shot no good. Bell runs it down. His Butts misses. And I think she stepped out of bounds. Sure did. Bell trying to run it up the sideline right in front of Carol Ross. Steps out of bounds. And so Florida turns it over. Tennessee will get it back. The Lady Vols pounding it inside and leading the Gators by 7.
For over 15 years,
Tennessee shooting extremely well against the Florida Gators, 68%, and they're 3 of 5 from three-point range.
Well, Tasha Butts is coming into her own, finds a sweet spot on the floor, and that's a three-pointer from straight ahead.
And there's Bell as she tried to run it up the sideline, got a little bump there, and their foot goes out right there.
Again, Tasha Butts on defense, and she gets the ball, gets the turnover for the Lady Vols.
So you see the three-point shooting so far in the game. Tennessee 3 of 5. Butts, McDivitt, and Lawson have the three-pointers. You'd think this is a very critical part of the game for Florida. You sure don't want to get buried here in the first half. They got to feed off this crowd and feed off the enthusiasm. Courtney Daniel now into the game for the Lady Vols. Sets a pick for Lawson. Lawson, free throw line jump shot. No good. Look at Jackson go to work.
Sky-high rebound for Gwen Jackson with the conversion in the lane.
So we got to put a body on her under there. 30-21 is the Tennessee lead. And now Tennessee comes out for the first time in a zone after the timeout. So Pat Summitt gives them a different look.
I think Coach Summitt is going to mix it up and try to throw Florida off balance if possible.
Mobley on the baseline.
Nice.
Tough shot, can't finish. McDaniel gets the rebound. Tennessee leads by 9, almost halfway through the first half. Pass inside, broken up by Mobley, and Bell can't save it as she goes careening into the Florida students under there.
Quick hands and reaction time by Naomi Mobley.
I looked around the O'Connell Center here, not many empty seats tonight.
Well,
Hayden is back in. Vanessa Hayden. Mobley goes out of the game as Carol Ross tries to keep her post players fresh. McDaniel gets the pass down low, whistle. And they're going to say a pushing foul underneath as Florida trying to fight through a pick, and Tamara Stocks gets the foul. Her sister Amber is a graduate assistant on the Tennessee staff. In fact, on the bench today, watching her sister play while charting Tennessee. Butts out front to Lawson. Pass Jackson. Turn right. Blocked by Hayden.
Big block by Hayden. Big block by Hayden.
Hayden, number 1 in the SEC in block shots, and McDivitt knocks it out of bounds.
Well, that was a very nice defensive play by Vanessa Hayden. She stood there and hung tough inside. Here you go, take another look at it as Gwen Jackson drop steps and meets Vanessa Hayden and says, "Not today, Gwen."
She was she had 7 blocks in a game this year against Colorado, 1 there. Stocks gets pushed and shoved by McDivitt, and Lawson goes tumbling. So McDivitt picks up the foul. That'll be her first.
A little bit of a chain reaction over there. Carol Lawson also ended up on the floor.
Her first.
Tennessee over the limit now. That's the 7th foul, and so Stocks goes to the line.
At the line for the Lady Gators, Tamara Stocks.
And there's Amber, her sister. I'm sure quietly hoping your sister does well. But
I was going to say, Bob, who do you think she's cheering for today?
Well, she knows where her bread's buttered, probably. So she wants her sister to do nicely, but
What
wants
about
her team to win.
Is bread thicker than blood?
There's Tamara Stocks. She's been a solid player for Florida, too. A senior out of Pickerington, Ohio. She hits the second one. Well, they've got a great basketball program up there in Pickerington. Mobley goes out. Hayden. I think they're going to play Hayden and Mobley at the same time. Stocks goes out. So the first time we've seen their twin towers in this game.
Bob, that's a good combination underneath for the Lady Gators.
7-point game as Stocks hit both free throws. Lawson. That's taken away by Bell. Nice play. Worsen against Lawson for the layup.
Wow, that is excellent. That is an excellent play on behalf of Tumi Bell. Gets the deflection and the conversion on the other end.
So the Gators have cut it to 5. Lawson feels the double team and gets it out to McDivitt. A 5-point game. We approach the 9-minute mark here first half in Gainesville. McDaniel, a freshman, Hands it back to Jackson, now McDivitt. Florida's picked it up a little bit defensively. Let's steal underneath.
They're not letting Tennessee get anything. There's a step in and steal by Vanessa Hayden.
Hayden picks it off. McCain. Boy, she really wants to fire away.
For a three, definitely.
Bell's open for three. Off the mark. Looked like that one might have slipped a little bit. Bell just put her hand up, says she's, I don't know if she needs to come out.
Oh, that's a no-no. That is a no-no to leave her wide open.
Lawson misses. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Florida's basketball.
Well, here's Carol Lawson with the ball. Toomey Bell with the quick reaction time, and she's off to the races with a head of steam with a layup in transition. And then here's a step and steal by Vanessa Hayden. Gathers the ball, gets control of it, and that's a steal for the Lady Gators.
Hayden played that nicely. She anticipated the pass and came baseline. There's an inbounds play, and Gwen Jackson puts it in.
It works to perfection for the Lady Vols as Gwen Jackson floats to the basket for a layup.
32-25. 8:20 remaining in the first half. You see Tennessee still shooting brilliantly. And Florida, 50%. Gators aren't shooting badly. Tennessee just shooting better. And Buss gets the foul, her first. Robinson now comes back in for Tennessee. As the Lady Vols get Robinson and Snow some time. Snow has been a bit foul prone at times, and now she sits out with those two. Robinson and McDaniel apparently will go the remaining 8:17 of this half. 7-point Tennessee lead. And Bell back at the line. That one's way off to the right as well. Missed the 1-and-1. And Jackson rebounds. Lob pass. Look at the hustle.
Again, look at the hustle by Hayden. The good presence of mind to get the steal, and the ball's in the hands of the Lady Gators.
Run on the floor. Good head fake.
Look at the quickness and the beautiful shooting stroke by Brandy McCain. The game is getting tight.
McCain closed it in on 1,000 points in her career, and she nailed that one to make it a 5-point game. Florida running the post, trying to knock out that inside game. Robinson, too strong in the rebound, Cardenas. It's a 5-point Tennessee lead as we approach the 7.5-minute mark. And you see the Gators now have cashed in on those steals they've had, outscoring Tennessee on those points from turnovers. Mobley can't make it go. There's Hayden back up. That's no good. Another rebound, Robinson. Yep. Point blank range. Couldn't get it to fall. McDivitt. Out of Butts. Butts right to the basket and puts it in. Charging foul. They're not going to count it. Not going to count it. She ran over Mobley.
Mobley stood in there and took the charge and got a big play for her basketball team.
Yeah, that's a big play because Mobley didn't want to pick up that second foul. So a timeout is asked for, an official's timeout. Tennessee leads. You're watching SEC Women's Basketball on Comcast Charter Sports Southeast.
The Southeast, with over 200 games on our schedule, nobody brings you as much exciting college hoops action as CSS. Games from schools in the SEC, ACC, Big East, Big 10, Big 12, and Conference USA. Games from Southeast region conferences like the SoCon, Big South, Transamerica, SWAC, and Gulf South. Plus in-depth coaches shows from top schools. With more games you want to see and more shows you want to see, CSS has the Southeast covered. See it here on CSS, your source for sports in the Southeast.
Lady Vols have led by as many as 9, but Florida has come back to slice this thing to 5.
Well, here you have April McDivitt in the full court. Tries to throw the ball ahead, and here is Vanessa Hayden in the right place at the right time. Good job by her on the defensive end. Toomey Bell to her favorite target, the up fake, and the silky smooth jumper from Brandy McCain.
So another assist by Bell and the bucket by McCain. And then more good defense by the Gators.
Here you have Tasha Butts and Naomi Mobley standing in tough and negating a basket for the Lady Vols.
So Mobley stands there and takes it. Pat Summitt's team still shooting well. 59% from the floor, 13 of 22. Florida at 47%. Bob Kessling, Elijah Bond with you today from Gainesville, Florida. Number 6, number 2, Florida and Tennessee. Stocks swings it out to Bell. Tennessee in the zone. Bell penetrates, short on the shot, and Robinson gets another rebound. Florida stays man-to-man as Randall, 17-footer. Well, that was off the mark, but Ace Clement on the offensive glass. Florida's got to do a better job boxing out here. Robinson pushes her way in off the glass. That's no good.
The Lady Vols are all over the boards, Bob, in this early going.
Robinson turns and fires. That's no good. And another ball going out to Robinson. You can't give them this many attempts as McDivitt makes them pay.
Bob, as you said, if you give the Lady Vols that many attempts, they're guaranteed to cash in eventually, and there you go with McDivitt in the lane.
34-27, Tennessee still up around 60% shooting, and you see the offensive rebounds, and Tennessee got several of those right then. Here's Mobley. That's going to be an offensive foul. Mobley runs over Samika Randall. I don't think Mobley really saw her out of the corner of her eye.
I don't think so. Samika Randall stepped in at the right time and drew the foul on Naomi Mobley.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't either, Bob. Once I see it again, I don't agree with that call either.
Now, it looks like Randall didn't give her a chance to make a move to get away. Kara Lawson back for the Lady Vols. Lawson, 3 points today. As her Lady Vols lead by 7. McDivitt and Lawson really now are interchangeable at that point guard spot. Both brings different things to the table for Tennessee.
Bob, and they both do solid jobs for the Lady Vols.
You think about both of them, they can both shoot it.
That's very true. Deadly from outside.
Florida in this zone. Sometimes tough to box out of the zone. Florida gets on the board. Lawson over the top, way short. Another offensive rebound by Samika Randall.
Well, it's odd, Bob, because Florida is actually the best offensive rebounding team in the conference, and the Lady Vols are dominating here in this first half.
Stocks volleyballs it out of bounds. They don't reset the shot clock. 21 seconds to go on the shot clock. 5:06 on the game clock. Tennessee has defeated Florida 27 of the 28 times they have met. So you can tell this is a frustration level for Florida because they're thinking this might be the Sunday they can pull it off. Clement baseline, missed it. Stocks and Clement tie each other up. The ball goes to Florida on the alternate possession.
Florida basketball.
Well, Florida has the best team that they've had in such a long time, and if they're going to have a chance to beat Tennessee, this is probably their best chance.
And they've lost 3 players to ACLs this year. Knee injuries. Tennessee knows about that, of course, with the injury to Mickey Catchings, but a lot of the Florida depth is gone because of those knee injuries. Good look. Cardenas' shot's blocked from behind, out of bounds by McDaniel.
Good job by Courtney McDaniel to get her hand on that ball. And the ball's underneath to the Lady Gators. Here's Tamara Stocks as she faces up. Gets the ball into Cardenas, but Courtney McDaniel is there at the right time.
Here's Stocks taking it again inside. Can't get that one to go, and the rebound inside goes to McDaniel.
That was a good decision by Kristen Clement to not force the issue and to keep the ball active.
McDaniel, 3 on its way. No good. Inside rebound. Robinson stripped away. And they're saying, oh, it's going to be white ball. Randall was out of bounds and came back inbounds to get the ball. See, it touched it without establishing position inbounds. So that's why the ball goes over to Florida. But it's got to be a disturbing trend for Carol Ross. Her team can't get a rebound as Pat Summitt's team's really going to the boards.
They're being very active on the boards, getting their hands on a lot of possession and cashing in on the offensive end.
Cardenas, that time, her pass knocked away as Clement slaps it away. They didn't let her have that reverse layup that time as Robinson came over to cut her off.
She's working that baseline as often as possible. Made one in the early going and has been stopped on her last few attempts.
Florida gets it in bounds to Bell in the corner. Stocks working against Robinson. Robinson blocks the shot.
Wow.
Bell gets it back. That's blocked by Ace Clement. And Lawson's got it. Lawson right to the basket.
Beautiful drive by Carol Lawson with the contested finish on the other end.
36-27. McCain underneath. Robinson blocks it again, and it's out of bounds. This time to Tennessee.
Bob, I will tell you what, Ashley Robinson is throwing a block party down in the paint for the Lady Vols this afternoon, denying every shot that comes inside of the paint. You take another look at it. Ashley Robinson is lingering. 2 hands on the ball, stuffs the ball for the Lady Vols.
And so, Tennessee's defense controlling things right now as Tennessee leads Florida by 9 here in Gainesville.
CSS is
Tennessee leads Florida by 9 as Tennessee has been able to shut off the inside game of the Gators.
Well, with 6'5" Ashley Robinson lurking on the inside, she says, not at all today, Tamara Stocks. And then here's Kristen Clement also getting into the act, which sends the ball ahead to Kara Lawson. And she goes in the full court and squeaks by Cardenas for a breakaway layup.
Takes it all the way, and Tennessee now leads it by 9. Lady Vols shooting is down to 50%, but their offensive rebounding is going way up as they've been getting 3 and 4 shots at it. One thing that the Lady Gators have got to correct here, if they're going to get back in this thing, is Tennessee. They say Tennessee has only 3 blocked shots. It looks like they had 3 that last possession.
You're right about that, Bob.
And Tennessee out rebounding the Gators by 7 right now. Robinson. Good look to Jackson. To the basket. The ball stripped away out of bounds. It'll still be Tennessee's basketball with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Jackson. Good inbounds play.
Again, good inbounds play. Good slicing action toward the basket for Gwen Jackson. She converts for the Lady Vols.
11-point lead for Tennessee. The biggest of the half as Tennessee jumps into the zone now. McCain and Bell always looking for that three-pointer. Hayden inside over Robinson this time. Can't get the roll. Stocks battling inside. She'll test Jackson. And goes to the line. She draws the foul, and Jackson picks up her second.
Bob, good board play by Tamara Stocks, who went up strong and was able to draw the foul on the Lady Vols. Here's a shot by Vanessa Hayden. And out of nowhere comes Tamara Stocks. She tips it to herself, gets control of the ball, goes up over Gwen Jackson, and she draws the foul on Jackson.
Stocks at the line, 76% free throw shooter. Too strong on that one. She made her 117th start today for the Gators. She's played in 122 games, so she's one of those players you just write her name in the lineup and she goes to play.
She has been a solid contributor and a very effective player for the Lady Gators for her entire 4 seasons.
Stocks gets 1 out of 2. 10-point game. McDivitt back in for Tennessee, and Ace Clement takes a seat. Florida hoping the 2-3 zone will help them rebound a little bit better. Misty Knight is into the game, number 21. Here's Bell, pokes the pass away. Tennessee has numbers, but Bell takes it in there anyway, and the shot blocked from behind by McDaniel.
Again, good anticipation on behalf of Toombi Bell, and she takes it all the way up. And the ball is out of bounds to the Florida Lady Gators.
Knight dumps it down low. Stocks. Little sweeping hook, no good, but draws a foul. And McDaniel picks up her first. Stocks very, very active. And so Stocks will go back to the line. That's 10 fouls on Tennessee. They'll shoot 2 the rest of the way. Florida with 6, and so the Lady Vols shoot the 1-and-1 from here on out. Stocks at the stripe. She's got 7 today. Now 8. She's had 8 double-doubles this season. And Stocks on her way to another one today, perhaps. Second one good.
Bob, she's done a good job of being solid and very effective for the Lady Gators.
38-30. 8-point game. You would think the last 2.5 minutes very important for Florida. You don't want to let these Lady Vols get on a long leash here. It might be tough to reel them in.
They want to do their best to keep this as a single-digit lead and ensure that the Lady Vols don't go on a run here in the before the half.
Lawson tees it up, knocks it down.
Wow, just a dagger in the heart of the Lady Gators here.
So just like that, he gets to 11. Underneath Hayden. That time over Robinson, no good on a whistle. And a foul underneath is going to be on McDaniel.
Bob, Hayden has had some tough breaks down there in the paint, but she has a very nice soft shooting touch, and I'm sure some of those will fall for her later on.
Tennessee bench not very happy with that. At Summit, there's the stare, her famous stare. And Stocks gets the free throw. She's in double figures with 10 now. She's looking over at Mr. Humphrey and now pleading her case to Wesley Dean.
Bob, she's scaring me. I think I'm going to duck under the table over here.
11 points for Stocks, and now it's a 41-32. Under 2 minutes to go on the half. McDivitt over the top of the zone. No good. Whistle, and that's another foul on McDaniel. So McDaniel, bang, 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 picks up 3 fouls. Remember, Michelle Snow has only played a couple of minutes in this game because of 2 fouls.
And here you have Courtney McDaniel just coming in. Her body motion took her into Tamar Stocks, and she draws the foul.
Yep, that was a pretty clear 3rd foul. And so now Stocks back to the line. Can't knock it down, so try it again. Kyra Elsie comes in, a senior, replacing McDaniel. So Elsie's going to be asked to move down low and block out on rebounding. Elsie got an extra year of eligibility, had a knee injury last season, so she's gotten her degree. She's in grad school. Stocks hits the second one. 41-33. Tennessee in front by 8. Florida led early in the game 3-2 and 5-4 and 7-6, but since then it's all been Tennessee. Robinson missed it. Little contact on the shot, no whistle. Bell. McCain, don't leave her open.
McCain, you cannot, as you said, leave her open, and that's just such a simple, easy shot that she drains from the left corner.
So Florida now has cut the lead to 5, and now the crowd back in it. McDivitt, right wing. Lawson thought about it. Randall, no good on the 3-pointer. Hayden knocked out of bounds by Elsie, and Florida gets the ball with 1:04 to go.
That's a very positive possession for the Lady Gators, and let's see if they can dip even further into this lead.
1 minute to go in the first half. Tennessee's led by 11 recently, but Florida coming back. Hayden, foul on Robinson, her second. So Robinson got her on the wrist.
At the line for Florida, Vanessa Hayden.
And Hayden goes to the strike. That's been an adventure there for her this year, only 46% from the stripe. She was the SEC Player of the Week on February the 8th. And just like that, she knocks it down. She's seen her team's lead slice down to 4. Carol Ross's team has done a nice job fighting back, keeping their composure. Hayden missed that one inside rebounding. Robinson gets it. And now a push. And a timeout is going to be asked for by Pat Summitt. This will be a full timeout with 55 seconds to go. 41-37. Tennessee has a 4-point lead. Florida has taken advantage of some Tennessee fouls. They've knocked some free throws down. They've also run their offense better the last couple times, as Pat Summitt still not very happy with some fouls called the last couple of times down. Pat Summitt, you can't argue with her success. What a tremendous coach she has been. You see the NCAA championships, SEC titles, gold medal, silver medal as a player, Naismith Hall of Fame. She's in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame and the Naismith Coach of the Year. It's amazing what she has done, and I think the fire still burns as strongly now as it did when she started as a graduate assistant 27 years ago.
Well, Bob, as long as there are games to be won, Pat Summitt wants to be the winner of the game. And as you see, she's driving and pushing her basketball team and trying to get them to understand how important it is for them to finish this half out in a strong fashion.
And now Carol Ross, she was a great player in her day as well at Ole Miss, and now has done a great job here at Florida in her 11th season. They've won 16 straight home games. And now they're trying to pull off not only keeping that string alive, but moving into a first-place tie. They've never won an SEC championship during the regular season. And now they're in position, but they've got to win here and defend their home court.
Well, as we spoke of earlier, this is a key game for Florida as the SEC regular season is winding down again. If they can pull this victory out, it puts some more pressure on Tennessee to pull out the SEC title race.
So Florida on a 7-0 run here, as they're wont to do in this building. I'm looking around. I don't see any empty seats now. They said the traffic outside was, if there is such a thing as a traffic jam in Gainesville, but they said it was gnarled, and you see this huge throng on hand today. I would guess 12,000 plus in here watching Tennessee and Florida.
Bob, it is an incredible atmosphere, and again, the teams are coming to play and giving the fans a show this afternoon.
Final minute, first half. Tennessee's big lead has been whittled down to 4. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Randall, top of the circle, drives to the basket, pull-up jump shot, tough shot, no good. Stocks rebounds and gets it to Bell. 30 seconds, the Gators can take the last shot of the half if they so please. And Carol Ross wants to decide if that's what she wants to do and takes a 30-second timeout. Yeah, Florida's really played better defensively, and they've limited Tennessee to one shot the last several trips, and that's been the key. That's how they got back in the game.
That has been a key for them. As we spoke about, you have to keep Tennessee off the boards, and as you spoke, they've done a much better job of doing that. They've chopped the lead down to 4 points, and they have a chance to dip, as I said, into that lead even further.
And you see those are some of the Tennessee faithful behind the Tennessee bench. And then a lot of the Gator fans are here today as well. Just really a great atmosphere for women's basketball as Tennessee is going to get LaToya Davis into the game. Provide a little defense. Kyra Elzy is in for defensive purposes. Meanwhile, Florida puts their offensive guns in the game. Mobley is back in. Is Tennessee going to pick him up some? Florida wants to take the last shot of the half, down 4. Bell double teamed. They knock it away. Double dribble.
And Pat Summitt put in her defensive unit, and they responded very well as they get a turnover.
Carol Ross is trying to say the ball was knocked out of her hands, and John Morningstar says, no, it wasn't. She just lost it. So now Tennessee can take the last shot of the half. Seconds. That's the game clock. McDivitt thrown away. Bell's got to launch it. Bell at the buzzer.
Wow.
Bell has cut the lead to 2 at halftime. Sylvie Bell hits the runner. As Tennessee turns it over, she's got 9 points, and it's 41-39.
Again, the turnover. And you put the ball in Toomey Bell's hands. She pushes in transition off 1 foot at the buzzer.
Wow, what a comeback by Florida as the Lady Gators end on a 9-0 run. We're at halftime. Tennessee leads by 2 here at the O-Dome in Gainesville. Flurry by the Florida Lady Gators. They run off 9 straight points. They were down 41-30, and then the jumper by Bell at the buzzer makes it a 2-point game at halftime, 41-39. It was a game in which Tennessee dominated inside. Some foul trouble really affected the rotation. Ashley Robinson got 9 points early. Michelle Snow had 6 points early, but then she picked up 2 fouls. Florida just kind of stayed with their game plan, kept banging away.
They hung in there with their game plan, Bob, and as you see, it's only a 2-point game. I figured this game would be a very closely contested contest. They match up so well in different categories, and they're giving the fans a show this afternoon.
Tamara Stocks also helps Florida as she pulls off 12 points in the first half. Bella McCain also contributed from the outside. At halftime, Tennessee's lead sliced to 2 here in Gainesville.
CSS is your source for college basketball in the Southeast, bringing you over 200 games this season featuring the teams and conferences you want to see. Available only on CSS. CSS also brings you in-depth coaches shows, including the Tennessee Lady Vols Pat Summitt Show.
Hi, I'm Pat Summitt, head coach of the Tennessee Lady Vols, inviting you to join in and watch my TV show every week on CSS.
Lady Gators by the score of 41-39. I'm Elisha Bond, joined here at halftime by Miss Nell Fortner, head coach of the 2000 Olympic women's basketball team. Coach Fortner, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
First of all, let's get right to it. We want to talk about your Olympic experience in 2000 in Sydney, winning the gold medal. Bring that experience to life for us, if you wouldn't mind.
I tell you, Elisha, it was awesome. It was just 12 great players, and the experience to play for a gold medal was unlike anything I've ever done in my life and never will do, probably. But it was great. Very proud moment for all of us.
Now, again, we're here, as I said, at the University of Florida. You had a University of Florida player on your squad, Delisha Milton, but also 2 players from Tennessee by the names of Nikki McCray and Shamika Holtzclaw. Talk about that?
I tell you what, two great programs, two coaches that really know how to develop players, and they play in a tough conference, the SEC. I tell you, Delisha Milton was a pure joy to coach, and I know why Coach Ross loves her so much. Great energy, and will continue to be a great player at the 4 position. And Chamique Holcall, what can you say? I mean, her accolades speak for themselves, and Nikki McRae, all 3 very valuable members of the Olympic team.
Now, Coach Fortner, you're changing hats from the Olympic rings to those of the Indiana Fever.
That's
How
right.
about that experience, and how are you looking forward to that this summer?
I'm really looking forward to it. I think the Indiana organization is just phenomenal. Really have enjoyed getting to know all the people and going there now on a daily basis. But I think the WNBA is an exciting place to be right now. We have phenomenal talent. It's a global sport right now. We've got players from all over the world playing in the WNBA, and I think it's a great game.
Now, again, with the draft coming up, let's talk about some of the key players that are out there that you have your eye on right now.
I think, you know, it's unfortunate with the injuries with Tamika Catchings at Tennessee and then Svetlana Abrasimova at Connecticut. Very unfortunate. But I think those are 2 of the best players in the draft still. But you have Lauren Jackson, the young player coming out of Australia, who was a tremendous player on their Olympic team, 19 years old, a real star. Kelly Miller from Georgia, Coco Miller, Jackie Stiles having a great year. I mean, Tamika Randall really doing a good job of stepping her game up. So the draft is very deep, and it's a very good draft.
Well, I'm sure you have your eyes on all those players. Coach Fortner, thank you so very much for joining us at halftime. Again, it's the Lady Vols over the Lady Gators by the score of 41-39.
Bob Kessling, Elijah Bond back with you at halftime here in the O'Connell Center. Jam-packed today and seeing a good one. Tennessee leading Florida by a score of 41-39. This game has lived up to its 3-game billing.
Well, number 2 versus number 6, and you expected this type of contest. As I said, with them being as closely contested as they've been all season long, a very exciting basketball game this afternoon.
Let's look at the stats from the first half. Tennessee got off to a brilliant start shooting and out-rebounding the Gators, but things have tightened up a little bit. As you see, Tennessee only shooting now 47% from the field, out-rebounding Florida 20-16. Those are the keys there, as Florida's got to do a better job defensively, and they've got to try and battle Tennessee on the boards, and they did a better job of that the last 3 minutes.
Well, they did. They got some people in good positions on the floor, using their bodies and boxing out. And then, as I said, some good defensive possessions, which made a big difference for them, and now the game is down to 2 points.
Yeah, Tennessee had an 11-point lead, and then Florida closed out on a 9-0 run. Tennessee went early inside, but got some foul trouble. We'll see how things turn out. Second half, we'll have highlights and get things started in the second half from Gainesville in just a moment.
Y'all want to have a look at our fitness?
Thank you all for your support of Lady International.
Tennessee leads at halftime, 41-39 over the Florida Lady Gators. It was a first half and where Tennessee dominated the first 10-12 minutes, and then Florida slowly climbed back in things. Tennessee, Elijah went early inside, and that paid some big dividends for Tennessee.
It paid dividends for them, Bob, as you mentioned, particularly, as I said, with Ashley Robinson.
Let's look at some of the highlights from the first half as Tennessee was able to get inside and then also get the outside threat going, but Robinson was a force early.
Well, Robinson down low is deadly in the paint with her size advantage, and there she is with the alley-oop and finishing down low, one of the top newcomers in the country. And then,
well, they can't get it inside, they get it outside.
They take it outside and put it in the hands of Kara Lawson, nothing but the bottom of the net from three-point land.
And then Florida comes back. They started finally getting the ball inside. Tamara Stocks.
Getting it down low, and Stocks converts in the lane. And then here's the connection from Bell to McCain from three-point land. Deadly from anywhere on the floor, and she proves it again right there.
McCain had 10 points in the first half, 4 of 6 shooting. Tamara Stocks led the Gators. She had 12 points in the first half. Tennessee, no players in double figures. Ashley Robinson led them with 9 points. She also had 7 rebounds. Kara Lawson had 8 points in the first half. So you look at the Tennessee coaching staff. That's Mickey DeMoss in the middle, a former Florida head coach back in the 80s, and Holly Warlick, the Hall of Fame guard for the Lady Vols. They're pondering the situation, and I'm sure Pat's not pleased with the closing 3 minutes of the half, they let an 11-point lead get away.
Well, again, Bob, key points in games are the first 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of a half. And she's not impressed with how her team performed, but let's see if they can get off to the start she would like them to in the second half.
One key, we'll see if Michelle Snow comes back. Snow didn't play much in the first half, only 4 minutes because of 2 early fouls, but she peels off her warm-ups and looks like she'll get the start. As for Florida, what do they got to do to pull off this upset?
Well, they have to get the ball in the hands of Bell and McCain and continue to push in transition. Keep Tennessee off the boards and convert open looks.
There you see Ashley Robinson and Kara Lawson leading the way for the Lady Vols. And Stocks has 12 and McCain 10 for Florida. Nobody really in foul trouble for Florida. Mobley and Hayden each have 2. For Tennessee, McDaniel with 3, Jackson with 2, Snow with 2. Yeah, so there's a former Tennessee assistant coach that you knew very well.
My man, Matthew Mitchell. He has actually done an excellent job for Lady Gators in his first season as their second assistant coach.
He was a grad assistant at Tennessee last year, and now Carol Ross's right-hand man. 41-39. Glad you're with us. Second half set to go as Tennessee will get it first, leading at 41-39. Florida comes out on a little bit of a half-court trap here, giving Tennessee a different look. Now there's a whistle, and inside a foul. It'll be a holding foul on Florida. It's going to be on Stocks.
Florida foul is on number 4, Tamara Stocks.
Her second.
Her second. First team foul, the second half against Florida.
So 15 seconds in, and the foul is called, and Tennessee sets up the offense. Florida goes man-to-man, so they changed defenses twice already, and a steal. Stocks takes it away from Snow. Stocks goes all the way in, no whistle. Randall comes out of there with it. Randall takes it all the way to the basket. No whistle there either. The ball out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee's basketball, so they're letting them play.
Out of the gates, they are going head-to-head on both ends of the floor, Lady Gators and the Lady Vols. It in. Tough matchup, but can't finish. There's an offensive rebound by Jackson, and she gets fouled going up. If that's Mobley, that's 3, and that's huge for the Lady Gators.
That is 3 on Mobley. You know, sometimes when you get a ball that low, sometimes you just got to let them have it.
Sometimes you do. You would rather give them the basket than the foul in that situation. She's very valuable to her team, and they need her to be on the basketball court.
Plus, you're going to get your foul, get your money's worth. That time you just kind of backed her in. Jackson at the line. And she hits the free toss. If there's any one player who's really stepped up since the loss of Catchings, you'd have to point toward Jackson. At 28 points and 14 rebounds against UConn, and one of the great performances of the season. As you see Mobley go out with her 3rd foul. Jackson basically put this Tennessee team on her back that day and led to the big win over the Huskies.
And she was rewarded by being named SEC Player of the Week for her performance.
Jackson gets them both, and Tennessee draws first blood, second half, 43-39. McCain weaves her way through the orange shirts. Hayden, good look. Cardenas, layup.
It's a great job by Hayden to spot Cardenas cutting on the baseline, and she goes up and cashes in.
2-point game, 1 minute in, second half. Florida now jumps into the zone, so they keep changing defenses. Clement doesn't take that one, and Lawson has it left wing.
I like the fact that Florida's trying to throw Tennessee off balance, is giving them a bit of a different look to start the second half.
Randall, who has not hit a three-pointer all season long, passes that one up. Shot clock down to 7, down to 6. Snow, tough turnaround, good.
Wow, that's a nice, beautiful touch fading away from the basket for Michelle Snow at 6'5". That's a great asset.
Last year she wouldn't have taken that shot. This year she's got a lot more confidence, and she gives Tennessee a 4-point lead. Hayden trying to post up under the bucket. She's been in the lane a long time. A bank shot, no good. Long rebound run down and goes out of bounds. Still loose. It'll be Tennessee's ball. Good hustle play that time. And a timeout is going to be asked for as Florida takes the time.
Bob Cardenas is everywhere. She's all over the floor. She's very feisty, hard-nosed, and she does a good job of getting her hand on different basketballs.
Averaging 7 points a game. She's got 9 in this contest. As you see Florida weave it down the floor, and a nice look.
And there's Cardenas underneath, cashing in, as I said, for the Lady Gators.
Now here's Michelle Snow at 6'5", impossible to block that shot.
Bob, that is a beautiful fadeaway on behalf of Michelle Snow. And as you said, you can't get to it, and so she has a clear lane to the basket and cashes in.
She's from Pensacola, so she's got some family and friends here watching. She's averaging almost 11 points a game on the season and 6 rebounds, but she's be forever known as the dunker. She's got the 2 dunks this year. One of them stirred up some controversy at the end of the Vanderbilt game. Vanderbilt thought it was kind of icing on the cake a little bit as Tennessee celebrated on the Vandy home floor. Vandy, by the way, comes to Knoxville on Thursday. Final home game for the Lady Vols is Vanderbilt today playing at Ole Miss. And we'll try and get you updated on some of those scores. Bell right side. Stocks in the lane. Snow made her adjust her shot. She draws a foul. Snow picks up her third.
Well, that's big for the Lady Vols if Michelle Snow again goes to the bench. But actually, Ashley Robinson came in and did a good job for them, so that may not be as bad for the Lady Vols.
Looked like if Snow just would have gone straight up, she might not have gotten the foul, but she kind of slapped down a little bit. So Stocks now goes to the line. She shot a bunch of these in the first half, 10 of them. And she hits that one. She's got 13 points on the day, and Snow with 3 fouls. Pat Summitt going to leave her in. Stocks will try it again. 2-point game.
Stocks has done a great job of converting her free throws and keeping the Lady Gators in this basketball game.
45-43, Tennessee by 2. Cross-court pass, gotta find her.
Wow.
Lost it. You can't leave her open. She'll kill you.
Bob, she will kill you, as you said, if you leave her open, and that's just an easy basket for Kara Lawson from 3.
So Tennessee overshifts the zone, and Lawson knocks down her 3rd three-pointer of the day. 5-point lead for Tennessee. It's been a well-played game, both sides. Bell looks for the little seam, takes it in against Snow, and scores.
Nice job of slicing by Michelle Snow and using her body to guard the ball, and she goes up with a tough drive on the baseline.
And she knew Snow had 3 fouls, didn't want to pick up that 4th. 2 3-point game now, 48-45. Jackson over Hayden and scores and got the bucket.
Wow, that's a big basket by Gwen Jackson over Hayden. Hayden has good size, and Gwen Jackson stretched up just enough to draw the foul.
Jackson got great position under the basket, and all Hayden could do was foul her.
Well, here's Gwen Jackson in the lane with a mini hook over Vanessa Hayden, and she draws the foul and is on the line.
That's 3 fouls on Hayden, so the 2 big players inside, Mobley and Hayden, each with 3. And Tasha Butts comes in for Tennessee. Jackson goes to the line. Jackson with 10 points on the day. Pretty good free throw shooter, 74%. And she misses that one. So no 3-point play for Jackson. It stays a 5-point game. Butts is going to try and slow down Bell a little bit.
This is a good matchup right here with McCain and Randall.
Shot no good, but Cardenas saves her on the baseline. Hayden took it right at Snow, but couldn't score. Back inside, Hayden again, hooks it up and in.
That's a nice job using her size and power advantage over Gwen Jackson. She converts underneath.
3-point game. Butts from the corner. She's got it.
Bob, how about the pace of this game? And every time one team scores, the other team responds right away.
Here's McCain. Not this time, but Stocks right there for the follow. Tennessee runs it out, leading by 6. Lawson finds a seam, but the shot's blocked. Jackson gets the rebound and a foul. Stocks, I think, got her on the forehead, and that's going to be a foul on Stocks, her 3rd.
But, Bob, how about the rotation on behalf of Tamara Stocks? It appeared Kara Lawson had a very easy layup, and Tamara Stocks rotated right over to deny Kara Lawson.
Fourth foul is on number 4.
Looks like Jackson lost the contact lens.
4th team foul.
Well, what a good block that time by Stocks with the left hand, and then just going for the ball, she knocks Jackson in the noggin. They say it's not a shooting foul. Mobley back into the game with 3. Out goes Stocks with 3. 6-point Tennessee lead. Inside, Snow Tough follow away. Good. Wow.
Again, that is just a dynamic shot by Michelle Snow, converting again on the jumper.
55-47. Randall picks it out of there. And then Randall saves it to Butts. Helter-skelter we go this trip down. Tennessee now trying to build a double-digit lead again. With a three-pointer, they could do that.
An important defensive stand by Florida to see if they can keep this lead from going into double digits.
Snow itching to pull the trigger on that three. Lawson will. Short. Snow the rebound. No good. Lawson.
Great rebound by Carol Lawson. Just snatched it out of midair, and she goes up for the offensive rebound and 2 points.
13 for Lawson. The lead is to 10 now. So Florida's momentum at the end of the half has been snuffed out, and a double dribble called on Bell. Out in the middle of the court, they call her for a double dribble, and the ball goes back to Tennessee. First media timeout, second half. Tennessee has built the lead back to 10. You're watching SEC Women's Basketball on Comcast Charter Sports Southeast.
You know where they're going.
2-point halftime lead. Out to 10, and they're getting after it right now.
Well, they're getting after. Here's a hook by Michelle Snow, and out of nowhere, Carol Lawson comes in and puts the ball right back in for 2.
So Florida, bothered by no boxing out in the first half, corrected that, cut the lead to 2. But now the crowd has been taken out of this. New Florida record today, 12,222. The old record, 5,031.
More than double.
Well, yeah, they not only shattered it, they shattered it with some authority, didn't they?
But they've been treated to an excellent basketball game this afternoon.
Lawson knew that was off when she launched it, but Jackson gets the offensive glass. Back to McDivitt. She'll try. She'll hit it.
Bob, again, offensive rebounds are killing Florida, and there's McDivitt with the dagger for the Lady Vols.
Biggest lead of the day now, 13. You just can't give them 2 or 3 shots. Hayden against Snow. Snow blocks the shot. No whistle.
Bob, Snow is fortunate she didn't draw another foul on that play.
And a technical foul has just been called on Carol Ross kicking the ball. She thought her player was fouled, and now Ross out on the floor. When you kick it, that's an automatic tee.
Maybe that'll get her team inspired to complete this game.
She thought the foul happened right there. She might be right.
Fire in the eyes of Carol Ross. She is very inspired and is taking up and defending her basketball team.
Yeah. Difficult call there, because that would have been not only foul to send her player to the line, that would have been 4 on Snow. Lawson won't miss many of these. She does that one now. She's only missed 7 all year.
The Bobcats-ling jinx.
Yeah. So here's Lawson, 87% free throw shooter. 1 out of 2. 14 for. 61-47.
But Bob, as you said, that was a key play for the Lady Gators to not be able to get that foul, and now the ball's in the hands of the Lady Vols.
McDivitt in backcourt, 61-47 is the score. So Tennessee has come out and outscored the Gators by 12 this half. Lawson, good look, Snow in, fakes, missed the shot. Jackson again, in.
The board play of the Lady Vols have sent them to a 16-point lead as you have Gwen Jackson in the lane converting for 2.
As Carol Ross, when she looks at the stat sheet, if this thing keeps up like this, we'll have to go forward to find out the reason. Hayden inside against Snow, puts it in. Snow backed off, and Hayden gets the bucket.
Soft touch with the left hand, drop step for Vanessa Hayden.
Again, Snow backed off, didn't want to pick up that 4th foul. Still lots of time to go. Jackson dumps it down low, Snow. Fakes. Bell strips it away. Good play. Now Florida needs to convert some of these. McCain goes in and she gets held.
Quickness in the half court by McCain, and she's able to draw that foul. And the ball's underneath for the Lady Gators.
Second team foul.
Here's the double down as Bell comes over.
Bell did a good job of anticipating and getting her hands in there for the deflection of the field.
Hayden goes out, and Stocks is back in. Not a shooting foul, and so Florida will bring it in. They flip it back out front to Stocks. That's only the 2nd foul on Tennessee this half. Cardenas can't save the ball into the Florida bench. Tough pass, cross court. 13:33 to go, and it's 63-49. Well, they say it's the old coaching accent. First 5 minutes of the second half, the most important stretch of the game sometimes, and that proved true here as Tennessee only had a 2-point lead at halftime, and now it's out to 14.
Bob, Tennessee has really done a good job of sticking to their game plan, attacking the board for the Lady Vols, and they've jumped out to a 14-point lead here in this game.
McDivitt gives to Lawson. Jackson, they keep pounding it inside. And Lawson, that's off the mark. She knew it was gone, but there's Jackson again, and she picks up the foul and the bucket.
Bob, as you said, offensive boards. Once again, I know we keep speaking about it, but you have to when the Lady Vols are coming up and having their hands on every basketball. And here's Carol Lawson with the 3, and Gwen Jackson, good timing underneath, basket and 1.
Just saw it coming off and went to get it. Jackson with 14, and she'll go to the line. 6 fouls on Florida this half. Hayden is back in. But I'll tell you all the time, rebounding is just about effort, and Tennessee just beating them to the ball right now.
They're being very active underneath and getting some fortunate bounces, but also getting good position in the paint.
And Jackson going for the 3-point play again. She got it this time. 66-49. The lead stretches to 17. Gators got to get something going offensively now. They rode McCain. Here's a backdoor pass. Cardenas missed the shot. Rebound Jackson inside, loose on the floor. They dive after it. And Stocks is going to be tied up by McDivitt. On the possession goes to Florida.
That's good action. Everyone is attacking and trying to get possession of the ball. Very important is possession of the ball, and the Lady Gators are rewarded underneath.
Bob Kessling and Elijah Bond with you today from the O'Connell Center. Sold out. And now they're going to line everybody up on the inbounds play. Pass goes to Bell underneath, forces it up, ball knocked away. McDivitt comes out of there with it. Bullet pass in front court, Bucks. Tennessee looking inside every single time down. And there it goes to Robinson. Hayden got her on the wrist.
Bob, what do you think about that?
Hayden picks up her 4th.
Florida foul is on number 55, Vanessa Hayden, her 4th.
Well, the Tennessee game plan is simple. They've got Mobley, Hayden, and Stocks in trouble, and they're just pounding it inside. And Florida not able to do much about it right now as Bell's going to, or Mobley coming back into the game, and Robinson at the strike.
The Lady Vols pounded it in early in the game, and it proved to be effective, so they're sticking with their game plan. And Ashley Robinson is paying dividends.
43, Naomi Mobley.
Naomi Mobley back in, and Hayden goes out, and Robinson to the strike. Pat Summitt says her upside is big time. She doesn't really know how good she can be. She has so many talents, such a soft touch. You just saw right there as the ball caromed up and then dropped through. Tennessee has opened up an 18-point lead. Jump shot no good out front. Florida, maybe a quick shot by Mobley, but you're down by 18. Robinson gets it inside. Takes it to the basket. She's fouled.
The Lady Vols have really come to play in this second half and have a chance to get the lead to 21 points. They've just fed the ball inside. They've attacked the board, and they've really stretched this lead out on the Lady Gators. Here's Ashley Robinson down low with the power dribble. Basket 1.
And that's the 4th foul on Mobley. Robinson hits the 3-point play. She's got 13. And now a technical foul is going to be called on, I think, a double technical as Stocks and Jackson got tied up in the corner. Let's see what the call is going to be. As Wesley Dean sorts things out.
Double technical foul has been called.
Double technical, make sure that's a Humphrey, excuse me. Daryl Humphrey making the call.
On Tennessee's number 13.
Foul's going to be on Jackson and Stocks, I believe.
Personal. 3rd team foul for Tennessee. And on Florida's number 4, Tamara Stocks.
So 4 fouls on Stocks.
19 fouls.
And 3 fouls on Jackson. Isn't it amazing? Neither player. I didn't do anything.
You never want to, Bob, you never want to claim that you did anything. I saw them tussling underneath, just kind of got tangled up. But again, that's a key play, Bob. You have them, a technical foul results in a personal foul, and
right.
that's not a good thing for either team.
And you see the triple trouble there for Florida with Mobley, Hayden, and Stocks all with 4. And Pat Summitt checking the foul situation. So things are slipping away just a bit for the Gators, as it's 70-49 now, as the Lady Vols continue to pound them. So Tennessee leading 41-39 at halftime. So they've outscored them 29-10 to start things second half. Florida can't afford many empty trips this time. Stocks to the basket, lays it in.
That's a great drive by Tamar Stocks with the slashing in the lane, and she converts for two.
Here's Jackson from the corner.
Wow, how about a three-pointer from your forward player, Gwen Jackson, nothing but net.
18 for Jackson now. That's her 14th three-pointer of the year, her first today, and the lead now stretches out to 73-51. Stocks, she's in the lane, throws the ball away. Bounce pass, butts, and against Bell, and can't finish it. Cardenas over Robinson off the glass, no good. Runs down her own rebound and knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee's ball.
Bob, I really like the way Monique Cardenas plays. She's very active and is willing to sacrifice her body for her team.
So immediate timeout with 11:17 to go. Tennessee running away from the Gators here in the second half, leading 73-51.
I'm principal of a new kind of public.
A moment ago, it was a 50-47 game, and then with a blink of an eye, Tennessee pounding away, goes on a 23-4 run, and now leads it 73-51. Here's some other scores around the SEC. South Carolina knocks off the Kentucky Lady Cats 70-62. Alabama edges Auburn 61-60. And LSU has defeated Arkansas 62-58. And Vanderbilt wins in Oxford 72-58. Other SEC scores today. Here it's Tennessee leading 73-51 as Gwen Jackson. Another stellar game, 18 points. And she has really been active on the boards this half.
Really been active and really been one of the most consistent players for the Lady Vols all season on the board.
Randall in the lane, whistle. Traveling violation on Sneaker Randall. Tennessee has won 5 straight in this series. Last year they played in the SEC tournament. Tennessee won that game 91-79. Both of these teams, you would think, headed to the NCAA tournament. And so right now this game not only for the regular season championship lead, but for tournament seeding. And McCain has the ball knocked out of her hands.
Bob, there's a good possibility that these two teams will see each other in the SEC tournament. So I don't think all is said and done between these two teams.
That's in Memphis, by the way, in March. Bell saves it in bounds. Bell drives baseline. Shot blocked by Robinson. Still loose underneath. Shot clock at 5. They got to shoot it. McDivitt steals it cross court.
Bob, the Lady Vols are everywhere on the defensive end.
McDivitt fouled by McCain going in, and she'll go to the line. You know, the thing that was amazing about that drive by McDivitt, and she went behind her back, crossed over and everything. She shielded the ball and never, ever let the defender get close to it.
Well, because Brandy McCain is a good defender who will swipe at the ball, but here's also someone who will swipe at the ball, and that's Ashley Robinson denying Toomey Bell underneath.
McDivitt at the line, knocks it down. She has 9. Here's Misty Knight back in, the senior from Savannah. And she'll replace Cardenas. There's April McDivitt. Has gotten a chance to start a couple games this year. Pat Summitt just having more and more confidence in her. She kind of likes the way she runs the team and her mental approach. You see Michelle Snow back in. I mean, you look at Tennessee and the way they just kept rolling these players at you. It's got to be a team like Florida with not that much depth. It's kind of demoralizing to see all these All-Americans coming in at you.
Well, one of Tennessee's strengths is their bench, their depth, and they've come to play and done a tremendous job to help push this lead up for the Lady Vols.
And you see Tennessee's second half shooting 58%. 10.5 minutes to go. It's going to be a tough chore to get back in this thing for Florida. And again, Michelle Snow with a good deflection cross court. Snow in the lane, fakes. Kicks it out to McDivitt. Randall from the corner. No good, and there's a rebound by Hayden. So 1 and out this time for Tennessee. Hayden now will dribble the ball up the floor herself. As Randall, ball hockey. Give and go, Hayden, nice play.
That's a good job. Hayden gets the rebound on one end and the basket on the other end. Good job by Vanessa Hayden.
75-53. It's been quite a second-half spurt by Tennessee in the last 5-6 minutes. Jumping from a three-point advantage. Now they lead it by 22. Snow. No good that time, and there's another offensive board by Tamika Randall. And now a jump ball is called on her possession stage with Tennessee.
Tennessee basketball.
But both of these teams are solid rebounding teams, and Tennessee is really making a statement today with their board play on the offensive end.
Snow turns, and she's fouled by Hayden, and Hayden is gone.
Bob, I don't know. I don't think I saw any contact on that. I might have to see a replay to see what I think about it.
Well, Snow has been turning into the lane, and that time she went baseline, and they say that Hayden got her on the wrist.
As you said, probably anticipated that she would continue on that same pattern, turned away, and Vanessa Hayden drew the foul.
Watch Snow turn to the baseline.
What do you think, Bob?
It looked like a lot of ball, but the official was standing right there and made the call, so Hayden goes out.
Well, Hayden really did a good job of giving solid play and effort on both ends of the floor for her basketball team.
Let's say this. There have been players who have done far worse.
I will say so.
That have not been called. But Hayden is gone, and that's a big blow for the Gators with 9:12 to go. And now Snow to the line.
Hayden is really their bench strength, and so that is a damaging blow to see her out of the game.
She'll play on other days. Just a freshman from Orlando. One of the most promising freshmen in the SEC. And here's Snow bucking for all SEC herself. She's got 12 points today. And it's 77-53, excuse me. 9 minutes to go. Bell down the lane. Blocked by Snow again. Got a hand on it. No easy baskets today in the second half for Tennessee. Now there's a traveling violation, a carrying violation on Lawson. But the turnovers have really, this happened few and far between for Tennessee. There's a reach-in foul on McDivitt. Reaching in, she fouled McCain, and you know McCain has been very quiet this half. As McCain, they haven't been able to get her any shots. She's only got 1 point this half.
Well, they really, truly do need the contribution of Brandy McCain, their senior lead. No, I'm sorry, their leader, who they really count on for a lot of offensive production.
Yeah, check that. She hasn't scored this half. She has 10 points, no points this half. So it's been a tough half for her. And give Tennessee some credit. They played defense against her, and she hadn't got many touches even.
One of their keys to the game was to shut down Brandy McCain and Toombi Bell, and they've done a good job in the second half of holding McCain down.
Stocks inside against Snow. Short. Rebound lost out of bounds. It'll still be Florida's ball with 8:45 remaining in this game. Well, if Tennessee holds on to win, that means the Lady Vols will have a 2-game lead in the overall regular season championship and a 2-game lead on the #1 seed for the SEC tournament spot. And of course, that's a big advantage because you get a first day off from tournament play. Whistle, traveling violation. One thing Pat Summitt has stressed, for her team to win a championship, they got to get better in the half-court defense. They have played it extremely well this half-court.
Bob, they've done a better job in this game than they've done in most games. One of her keys is to ensure that her players keep their player in front of them, and they haven't done a really good job of that over the season, but they've done an excellent job today.
Snow, great look from Clement.
Again, the passing from Kristen Clement. And here's a steal from Tamika Randall as she steps in.
Randall, timeout is called as Randall dives on the floor and calls timeout. Good hustle by Tamika Randall as Tennessee builds a lead to 79-53, and they'll get the ball back as Randall knifes in there, ball hawking again. He's able to come up with the ball and call the timeout while the Gators dive on her.
By precision passing from Kristen Clement on the money to Michelle Snow, up and under, as she reaches out for the layup. With her left hand, she's a natural lefty. Michelle Snow underneath for the bucket.
So Ace Clement with a no look in Tennessee, 79-53, sending a message, I think, around to the rest of the SEC teams, because this was a game, if you thought there was maybe a pothole somewhere for Tennessee on the road to the SEC tournament, this might have been it, but not today, apparently.
Not today. Tennessee has really clicked on all cylinders and had a very solid, effective performance this afternoon.
Robinson up against Mobley, no good, but there's Randall for the offensive board. Here's a pass down low, Lawson, the ball knocked away, gets it back and scores. One of the differences is Tennessee sending 5 players to the glass. Florida has these smaller guards, and so it's really 5-on-3 on every rebound.
And they're getting every rebound, and here's a steal by Kristen Clement in the open court.
Post offense. Robinson against Mobley. Missed it. Gets her own rebound. Not much resistance that time. As Robinson pulls up 15. Mobley, of course, with 4 fouls. Can't do much inside. And now it's a 30-point lead.
Would you imagine that it would have been a 30-point game today?
Nope. 2 points at halftime. McCain. There's a jumper.
Again, McCain getting back into the act with an uncontested three from downtown.
First bucket this half. 7 minutes to go. Clement, she traveled too. So Ace Clement, a traveling violation, gives the ball back. One of the few mistakes Tennessee has made this half, as the Lady Vols have opened up an 83-56 lead against Florida.
It's happened before.
Tennessee has dominated the second half, led by 2 at halftime, but it's been all orange. Second half, Tennessee orange.
It has been Tennessee orange, and play typical with the hustle. Here's Ashley Robinson up and in on the offensive boards, and that has been a key to Tennessee's surges here in the second half.
They say that Tennessee's out-rebounded them 18-11 on the offensive glass. There's Gwen Jackson, who has 18 points to lead the assault today. A lot of happy faces. As Tennessee on the verge of going to 25-1. And what's amazing, it's the 25th straight season that Tennessee has won 20 games or more. Now Ace Clement steals the inbound. Nothing going right for the Gators.
Tennessee is slamming the door on the Lady Gators at every angle.
Pass a little bit late, telegraphed perhaps by Randall, and Florida comes over the steal. Tennessee the other night, of course, laid a wallop on Ole Miss, 119-52, as they dominated that second half as well. Ball knocked away and stolen by Clement. Florida having a problem now, even running their offense. Snow, double team. Clement. Whistle, 3-second violation.
3-second lane
She's
violation.
been hesitant to shoot that shot. If she would, I think her teammate thought she was just going to shoot it and get ready for a rebounding position.
Pat Summitt, her husband RB, is on the trip, celebrating his 50th birthday this week.
The big 5-0.
That's right. Also, we want to say, here's Cardina shoots over the top and hits a 3.
It's a nice jumper from Cardina from downtown.
Yeah, her first 3-pointer of the day. She's got 12. We want to say hello and get well soon to Debbie Jennings, the Assistant Athletic Director for Media Relations. Pass underneath. Ashley Robinson gets 2 more.
Ashley Robinson just muscles her way up underneath for a tough basket in the lane.
Debbie's back home in Knoxville, recovering a little bit, so didn't make the trip. And she'll be back, we hope, on Thursday night when the Lady Vols take on Vanderbilt at Thompson Bowling Arena. Now there's a whistle inside and a pushing foul. Tennessee's only been called for 4 fouls this half.
Tennessee foul is on number 43, Ashley Robinson.
The foul is on Robinson. One of those things is the fact that Florida really hasn't taken it to Tennessee this half that well.
Well, they really haven't, and when you have guards like Bell and McCain and players inside Mobley and Tamara Stocks, you have to get them the ball and get motion toward the goal. And again, that's something they've stayed away from here in the second half.
Now there's a bump inside, and they're going to say it's on Stocks.
And I think that's it for her.
Yeah, they try and take it inside that time, and Stocks picks up her 5th foul, and she's gone.
That's a tough foul for Tamara Stocks. She's really played her heart out today, hit a lot of free throws for the Lady Gators, and again, just a tough break for Tamara Stocks.
Stocks out with 16 points. Played hard for Florida.
Substitution for Florida, number 32.
Stocks trying to get a reason why she fouled out. Still not sure she's satisfied, but she's the 2nd Gator to foul out of the game. Stocks, the senior, gave him a good effort today. Tennessee just too many bodies underneath. Jackson at the line. Jackson trying to get to 20 points. She got 19. She also has 9 rebounds, so a chance for a double-double. Mobley back in, and out will go Misty Knight. So the fans start to file out of the O'Connell Center, a bit disappointed. Revved up at halftime as Bell hit a jumper at the buzzer to cut it to 2, but the second half's been all Tennessee as Jackson again fires. Good.
Wynn Jackson again, just another big game for the Lady Vols.
87-59. The Gators just didn't match Tennessee's intensity to start the second half. Jumper outside, good by McCain, and now McCain goes over 1,000 points in her Gator career.
Well, congratulations to Brandy McCain, who's been an outstanding player for the Lady Gators.
So she needed 15 today, and that's her 16th point. So 1,001. Snow inside, just muscles it in and picks up the foul.
Bob, what can you do with a post player that is as mobile and has as many moves underneath as Michelle Snow? And there she catches in. Let's see if she can convert from the free throw line.
Jamila Timble gets the foul, a sophomore from here in Florida, Opelika. And Snow with 16 points. You know, you try and set up a game plan trying to stop Tennessee, and it's almost like pick your poison. I mean, if you double down, then Lawson's going to kill you outside. If you guard the perimeter, then you got to deal with Snow and Robinson and Jackson inside.
Bob, Tennessee has a lot of depth and a lot of weapons, and everyone has come to play and given a solid, strong effort for the Lady Vols this afternoon.
There's the numbers on Brandy. Congratulations to Brandy McCain, the junior. Ball's out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee's ball. Samika Randall, she doesn't care what the score is. She still plays hard every single trip down.
Well, that's what Pat Summitt expects from her, as well as the rest of her teammates.
You know, I don't think anybody in this gym at halftime thought that Tennessee would make a run at 100 points when it was 41-39 at halftime. But Tennessee's at 90, and still 5 minutes to play. Jackson somehow gets underneath. The ball knocked away. Mobley comes out of there with it. Florida with numbers for one of the few times this half. Cardenas lays it in. Nice pass from McCain.
That's a good dish from McCain to Cardenas with a nice bounce pass across the lane, and Cardenas makes the layup.
And the timeout is asked for by Carol Ross as the Lady Gators take the time. Nice break here by Florida.
Well, here's Brandy McCain in the full court, draws the defense in Carol Lawson, and Cardenas floats to the goal for 2 points.
So the Lady Gators score there, and then again, here's McCain's jumper outside. The three-pointer puts her over 1,000 points in her Florida career. So congratulations to Brandy.
Bob, it's fitting that her 1,000-point comes on a three-pointer.
Absolutely, absolutely. You see the Lady Vols have the game coming up as they play Vanderbilt, and then close out against Auburn. And you see Florida, their game's coming up at Ole Miss, at Mississippi State, and LSU here, and then Alabama.
Good steal by Toombi Bell.
Jumper, McCain, no good this time. And the rebound goes to Michelle Snow. And the ball knocked out of bounds. I think I said Tennessee plays Vanderbilt on Thursday, and that's not right. I said that earlier. They have a week off, and they play LSU next Sunday, then Vanderbilt on the 22nd.
It'll be a tough contest going down there to LSU, a team they've already faced in the SEC season.
Jackson on the inbounds, misses the short jump shot. 90-64. McCain over the top. Won't stay down for her. And Snow had the rebound, but lost it out of bounds. She was battling Timble inside. It'll be Gator ball with 4 minutes to go. Much of the crowd has left. Sure disappointed. Carol Ross had the big sellout crowd she's been hoping for. It's a building block for this Florida program. It'll be painful tonight, but her team should get better from this, you would think.
Bob, as I said, you have not heard the last from this Lady Gator team. They're a very feisty bunch. They play very well together, and a lot of noise will be heard from them in the SEC as well as the NCAA tournament.
Well, they've got firepower, and that's what every team's looking for. They got outside shooting with Bella McCain. They got inside shooting with Mobley and Hayden, and also Stocks. Butts is back in. Mobley gets it with 4 minutes to go. Take it right to the basket. Snow got a hand on that one, and Jackson picks it off underneath. Jackson brings it up herself and hands it to Lawson. Under 4 minutes to go. Tennessee now going to go to the fourth corner some and run some time off the clock. Pat Summitt looking for her 753rd career victory.
It's amazing.
McDivitt forces it in, draws the foul, and will go to the line.
Florida foul is on number 11, Brandy McCain.
Kane picks up her first. Never stops coaching, does she?
She certainly doesn't. And again, she's preparing her team for the SEC tournament and preparing her team to try to win 6 basketball games in March and try to win another championship for her program.
April McDivitt to the line. Gets it to go. She's got 11. Double-double today for Gwen Jackson. 20 points, 10 rebounds. Ashley Robinson, a career-high 17 points and a career-high 9 rebounds. Snow fall away. Good. Snow with 19. 93-64. Cardenas gets hand check going to the basket. Well, I think one thing that when Carol Ross shows the video to her team, they'll get one thing perfectly clear. They're going to have to rebound better if they're going to win a championship.
Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, Florida is actually the best offensive rebounding team in the conference. So Tennessee giving them a little bit their own medicine.
Tennessee a big lead. You're watching SEC women's basketball on Comcast Charter Sports Southeast.
Hoops.
Of the goal and the band. And he's sitting there all the way on the right-hand side. He has glasses and a checkered shirt, and he's sitting next to a gentleman with a black golf shirt and a lady with the orange shirt next to him.
.318 to go here in Gainesville, Tennessee and Florida. Lady Vols on the verge of building a 2-game lead in the SEC. Another turnover for Florida. Tennessee flies it out of there. McDivitt goes to work to Lawson. That one rattled out on her. And the rebound saved in the corner. And the Gators have it with 3 minutes to go in this game. Florida's lost 2 players to fouls, and now there's a whistle inside and a foul on Michelle Snow, and that'll be her 4th. It's been a big weekend for R.B. Summitt. That's he in a checkered shirt, celebrating his 50th birthday. They had a big surprise birthday party for him last night. Pat's son, Tyler. It was his idea, we were told. Pat cheering on the group, and so a lot of the R.B.'s friends came down, surprised him coming down here, and showed up for the dinner last night. Also, another thing about this trip, Pat Summitt and Florida football coach Steve Spurrier have developed a very good friendship. It's I think one out of respect. They both respect each other's coaching abilities. So Coach Spurrier actually came to the shoot-around today. And then Pat Summitt went out to Coach Spurrier's house for a little bit today. They had a nice talk out there.
Who would have ever thought Florida and Tennessee a friendship?
Really, breaking bread. Tasha Butts, short on that shot. McDivitt, good hustle play. But I think they both have respect for each other's abilities, and they kind of talk about how do you, I guess it's a key thing when you get to this level. It's motivation sometimes more than X's and O's.
Again, 2 coaches who have achieved an extreme amount of success with their program.
Cardenas over the top, no good. Butts gets the rebound. 2:25 to go. McDivitt flies in from the right side, but gets fouled on the play and will go to the line.
Florida foul.
Florida.
Number 5, 2B Bell, her 2nd.
of course, has really had some great success under Carol Ross, 7-20 win seasons. And of course, this year, 20-2 already. And you would think they're a lock for the NCAA tournament. Now it's kind of up to them as to how far they want to advance in terms of seeding, how many more wins they get. Kyra Elzy comes in, and out goes Ashley Robinson with 17. Tennessee, of course, playing for a #1 seed somewhere. And they'll move to 25-1 today and improving their stock, I would think, among the NCAA selection committee. 95-64, and all of this done without Tamika Catchings, which I think has surprised a lot of folks around the country. Mobley gets fouled going to the lane. Most people thought, well, there's going to be a serious drop-off when you lose Catchings, and everyone, in fact, some people say there might even be a better team since Catchings has left in terms of a team.
Bob, the reason why I think that is the case is because they no longer have Tamika Catchings to turn to and watch her perform on the court. You have 4 players who have stepped up their game tremendously and have provide the Lady Vols with a solid group and a strong case to be champions at the end of the season.
But a tough day for Naomi Mobley. She has not scored in this contest. She's coming off 3 straight double-doubles. Over see Ashley Robinson, the freshman. 17 points, 9 rebounds. Mobley has not scored in this game.
Wow, that's huge for the Lady Gators.
And there's her first point. She had another game like this, and that was earlier in the season when she had 1 point against New Mexico, but Florida won that game, 95-65. I would say when Mobley doesn't score, as a driving layup is good by Latoya Davis, if Mobley doesn't score, it'd be tough for Florida to win.
Very tough. As I said, she's a person who scores on the offensive end and also is a big rebounder for them underneath.
1:45 remaining. Mobley, good dump down.
Very unselfish play by Mobley underneath to Jamila Trimble.
Trimble scores. And it's 97-67. 30-point advantage. Remember, it was a 2-point game at halftime. Latoya Davis, top of the key. Courtney McDaniel.
The freshman-to-freshman combination of Davis and McDaniel converts in the lane.
McCain, little shake and bake, lost the ball, reach-in foul.
Tennessee foul is on number 3, Tasha Butts.
Butts picks it up for 4th.
19 foul.
So Pat Summitt getting a chance to play some of the youngsters here in the closing seconds. Butts and Davis, Courtney McDaniel, all freshmen in there right now, and McCain goes to the stripe. 17 points. Carol Ross will watch this tape searching for answers because I'm guessing she's hoping at least they'll get a shot again at Tennessee in the SEC tournament. What do you do differently in that game? 99-69. Backdoor cut, Davis in, Tennessee 101.
That's a great play by the Lady Vols again. Freshman to freshman, Courtney McDaniel to Latoya Davis for the slicing layup.
First time in this series that either team has scored 100 points since back in 1980. Dump down look, and the basket is good. Timble gets it. Tennessee won that game back in 1980, 118-44. Check that, there was another game too. That was in 88 when Tennessee won 108-53. So the 3rd time in this rivalry that Tennessee has scored more than 100 points. McCain lost the ball. They say Tennessee knocked it out. So Tennessee has thrown 60 points at Florida this half.
Bob, that is an amazing offensive display by the Lady Vols. Just come out, attack the Lady Gators from the very start and never look back.
Tennessee has outscored them by 28 points this half. McCain misses. Tennessee's going to get another shot. Outlet pass, Kyra Elzy. Elzy in for the layup.
Good look ahead by Ace Clement to the 5th-year senior, Kyra Elzy, for the conversion.
103-71. And a whistle and a blocking foul going to be called on Latoya Davis. So here's how the standings look now. Tennessee with a 2-game cushion, 11-0. Georgia and Florida have 2 losses. And there's LSU 7-3. Tennessee goes to LSU next Sunday. Cardenas hits. She's had 15, I guess you would say, quiet points. She scored a bunch early and then hit a 3-pointer, and now has gotten a couple buckets second half, and now 16 on the day. So offensively, a good day. Last possession, Tennessee just going to, let's see if they're going to launch one last one. Shot underneath Elsie. Late, doesn't count. Game is over as Tennessee wins in impressive style. 103-73. Tennessee led at halftime 41-39. At one point, Tennessee led in the second half 50-47. But from there, the Lady Vols just exploded as Tennessee now 28-1 all time against the Florida Gators. We'll wrap things up from the O'Connell Center in just a moment as the Lady Vols win 103-73 over the Gators.
CSS is your source for college basketball.
Its muscles today. 5 players in double figures led by Gwen Jackson, who had 20 as the Lady Vols beat the Florida Gators to move to 11-0 in the SEC as the Lady Vols 25-1 now overall. And Tennessee impressive in the second half.
Bob, very impressive, operating like a well-oiled machine, hitting and clicking on all cylinders today, and a very tough team to beat when they play that well.
And you see Tennessee able to expand a 2-point lead at halftime. Florida got a good effort today by Brandy McCain with 18 points, goes over 1,000, but they got into foul trouble, and Tennessee just overpowered them today. So again, the Lady Vols stay perfect in the SEC. They go to 11-0 on the season in the conference as they win. Today, 103-73. Thanks for being with us from Gainesville. For Elijah Bond, I'm Bob Kessling, and so long from the O-Dome.
In 10 NHL seasons, he won 2 Stanley
Ooh, a wireless trade.